Hey, what's going on, guys? And we're talking about Rebels Season 4 today. They announced at Star Wars Celebration that Rebels Season 4 will be the final season of Rebels Season 4. However, it is absolutely not the end of Star Wars animation. So likely, after this is over, we can be prepared to receive notice that something new is on the horizon. But let's talk about what we saw in Season 4 and some other things they talked about in Star Wars Celebration that were not publicly announced in the trailer. So we do see a wolf mount. It looks like Ezra has got this wolf mount and he's riding on it with a wounded Sabine. Likely Ezra is befriending this wolf using his animal affinity, his animal powers, and it's long known that Dave Filoni loves wolves, so he finally got a wolf in here and somebody to ride a wolf. So that's been a kind of a big joke going on. Also in the cave, it looks like, I noticed this and I haven't seen anybody mention it yet, but it almost looks like a cave drawing of Yoda. So this wolf, could it have some kind of connection to the Force or to the Jedi? And there's a lot of mysteries around this wolf. We do return to Yavin 4. And we are going to see X-Wings and Y-Wings, and we also see Hera piloting an X-Wings, so that is very cool. Hera apparently flies everything. Next up, Mandalore is a major part of this trailer. There are a lot of scenes with Sabine holding the Darksaber, fighting, and a lot of fighting going on, and that is going to be important because we knew that it was going to be a huge part of this season. As a matter of fact, it looks like the season opener is going to be a 2-part episode dealing with Mandalore. Next, we see a lot of Saw Gerrera. It looks like he's in front of a Kyber crystal, and it also makes me wonder if there has been a time lapse because his hair is much longer and his hair has gone gray. Now, there were supposed to be 2 years in between, where the beginning of Season 3 and where Rogue One happens, so I wouldn't be surprised if there is a time lapse in between Season 3 and Season 4, maybe a few months to a year somewhere in that department, or maybe there will be a time lapse somewhere in the middle of the season. Maybe they'll get to a good stopping point and rest for a few months here and there. I don't know. But Saw Gerrera is pretty interesting because we see the Partisans. We see Saw Gerrera with he's flying with one of his right-hand man, or right-hand aliens, and he's flying a black and white U-wing, so that's pretty interesting. And it looks like they're going to be visiting the planet Edu, where we know they had a Kyber crystal refinery, so that's there's something going on there, that's for sure. We do see Bo-Katan, and we see that she might potentially become the new Mandalore, because in another scene they show her holding the Darksaber with Sabine by her side. So it looks like Sabine's going to kind of pass the torch, or pass the saber, so to speak. All right. We are going to see a new character, Rook, who is voiced by Warwick Davis, which is really cool. Last year at Celebration, Warwick Davis pleaded a case to be able to be in Rebels, and it was a big funny joke, and it looks like he got put in Rebels for real. And the big surprise is that he's playing Rook. So if you didn't notice, Thrawn used the word Rook last season to deactivate a droid, and so that was like the throwback to Legends. Now, if you don't know, Rook was the bodyguard of Thrawn, the race the Nogri, who were originally supposed to be the Sith and heir to the Empire, but it got changed to a different name because they wanted to do something else with the Sith. I mean, this was at a time when we didn't know what the Sith were. This was a long time ago. But the Nogri, and in the story, spoiler warning if you haven't read this story that's been out for over 20 years, but the Rook is the one who basically assassinates Thrawn. He realizes that Thrawn has been manipulating him and his people, and so he kills Thrawn at the end of the Heir to the Empire trilogy. However, that's all Legends. We don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's what's going to happen here, but I do think they want to scare fans and basically tease us a little bit by having Rook show up, because Thrawn is also going to be in this show, and I don't think he's going to be a huge part of the season. But I think they show him in the trailer just enough to make you think that Rook is going to kill Thrawn. And I don't think that's how it's going to work out. As a matter of fact, I've said before, and you can check out some of my other videos, why I think Thrawn is going to survive. Next, we see Kallus, and he's got a new outfit and a new haircut. So he is joining the Rebels on Yavin. We don't know what's going to happen with him, and we just see that one shot of him. But it's pretty cool to see that he has embraced the rebellion here. All right. Now I want to talk about some things that you don't really see in the trailer that was talked about at Celebration. First off, Dave Filoni was talking about Callus and why, a lot of people were surprised that Callus survived. And he reminded us, and it makes some sense, that, this is a show that's also for children and families. And they have to be very careful about the decisions they make in this show. And they don't want to go straight Game of Thrones and killing everybody. And so Callus did something very important here in that he realized the Empire was doing wrong things, and he became a good guy. So he was trying to make amends for living a bad life, and they didn't want to show that you'd be punished for trying to do the right thing. And so that's one of the major influences towards Callus surviving. And so that it made sense to me the way he put it, and I'm like, all right, I can understand that. They don't want to send a message to kids like, hey, if you're a bad guy, you better stay a bad guy. If you're doing the wrong thing, you better keep doing the wrong thing, because if you try to, fix things, you'll die, So they don't want to, emphasize punishment for trying to turn over a new leaf. Also, we do get confirmation that Hera will be promoted to a general in season 4. So that is good. A very cool thing, though, is that we got I'm going to call it a confirmation, but it's not exactly a confirmation, that Rex will be in Return of the Jedi. Basically, they showed this artwork at a panel, and Dave Filoni and Pablo Hidalgo were there, and they said, and this is, what Rex is going to be wearing in Season 4. Draw your own conclusions on that. Now, this is basically the same outfit, or almost the same outfit that he wears in Return of the Jedi, so, or at least that we believed was him. So, by them saying draw your own conclusion, they wouldn't be saying that if it wasn't him. If Rex wasn't in Return of the Jedi, they wouldn't have done this. So this was a deliberate, fan request. It has a head canon that has become all but actual canon right now. So that's really cool. And the last thing I want to talk about is Ahsoka. So we didn't see anything from Ahsoka in this trailer. Now, normally, when they do a trailer at the beginning of a season or before a season starts, they're usually only showing you stuff that's going to happen in the first few episodes or the first half of the season. So I'm guessing that Rex, if they do anything with Cody, and if they do anything with Ahsoka, those will all be in the second half of the season, because we don't see any of them in the trailer. But the big deal for Ahsoka is Dave Filoni was wearing a shirt that says Ahsoka Lives with a question mark, and then at the end of Celebration, he changed out that shirt for a very, very similar shirt that not everybody picked up on right away, but it was Ahsoka Lives with an exclamation point. And I saw the question mark. I didn't even notice when he changed. Somebody told me about it, and I had to look it up, and I'm like, oh. So basically, he gave a silent confirmation that Ahsoka does live. But of course, that does leave a lot of questions, like what happened to her? What was the resolution of her conflict with Vader? It makes me think that she actually beat Vader and then wasn't willing to finish him off, and that's why he walked away. And it makes me think that she is stronger than Vader right now. And if so, of course, I'm getting into speculation, and maybe this is better served for an entirely different speculatory video. But if she was stronger than Vader, what does that mean for everything that we know? But let me know what you think. If Ahsoka is stronger than Vader, what does that mean? And how do you feel about Rebels being the last season with season 4? Thank you guys so much for watching, and please, if you haven't already, subscribe, like this video, and leave me a comment. I would like to hear what you think about this being the last season, and also what you think about Ahsoka and what is going to be happening towards the end of the season. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.